It's been a little while since we played a one ring deck on this channel, and it's also been a little while since we had a favorite Phyrexian shark appear. Chrome Host Seedshark one ring control. Let's see how it goes. Welcome back, vintage gamers, to a donation deck list. This one from Gobi. Gobi wanted to see the one ring get some more play, but this time with Chrome Host Seedshark. Chrome Host Seedshark is a card that we definitely tried when it initially came out, and we weren't unhappy with it. It was definitely a powerful tool, and closing a game out creates pretty large creatures pretty quickly. So we're going to throw Chrome Host Seedshark into basically a pretty standard looking blue ring shell. Now, blue ring is another deck that didn't really take off the way a lot of people thought it would. One ring was a card people thought, hey, that might get restricted in vintage like pretty quickly. That hasn't ended up being the case. One ring has not really produced any unique archetypes around it. It is obviously a core card inside of the existing Jewel archetype, but there are very few people playing dedicated ring decks. It does seem like something that's happening more often in Japan. Every time I see a paperless tournament in Japan, they have some interesting ideas about how to make a ring deck work. So, one thing to note is that the combination of Seedshark and One Ring does make this deck a little bit weaker to Null Rod, which is pretty funny because I do have a Null Rod in my board. But the decks that you bring in Null Rod against, Jewel Shops mostly here, it's going to hurt them more than it's going to hurt you, so it's totally fine. And you have these Urzas, so you can still turn these incubator tokens into something of value. Is there anything else interesting in this list? No, it's a big blue Ancient Tomb one ring deck. Pretty standard looking toolbox sideboard for our Demonic Tutor Vampiric deck. We've got a pile of forces to go with our ring card advantage and our free spells with Chrome Host Seedshark plan. And just a Chain of Vapor to be able to bounce back a ring, Tinker to get rid of a ring. We do have a Manamo in here. No Expedition Map, though. If you could fit an Expedition Map, I kind of like Expedition Map in these kind of decks. Something to think about. So yeah, thanks to Gobi for donating for this league. See you in round one. Are you interested in weekly vintage metagame recommendations? Do you want to see your deck list played on my channel? Or maybe you are just looking for the best way to support my vintage content. Make sure you check out the Patreon link in the description below. Let's battle. All right, round one against Vengevine X4. I certainly hope not. My hand does not contain an Ancient Tomb or a blue mana source, so it doesn't actually work. Let's try again. This one does have a blue mana source, no force. Probably a keep. We have basics in this deck, right? Right? I do have a basic island in this deck. Sweet. So I think we're just gonna put back. We don't know that our opponent is on Bazaar, and they did keep 7, so hard to say. I think I'm gonna put back Mental Misstep and give myself the ability to hit my land drops, guaranteed. Obviously, that could come to be costly for us if our opponent is on a blue deck or something. Have I tried Timeless? No, I can't try Timeless. It costs too much money. I'm simply a poor vintage player. I can't afford this bougie format called Arena. Sorry. Not something I can do. So my opponent is actually on my aggro 8 cast deck, it looks like, with Nettle Cyst and Seed of the Cyanod, etc. So if I kept my Manifold, or if I kept my Misstep, I would have been able to hit a Manifold Key. My opponent is going to go Seat, Pearl, Walk, and maybe be able to play Trinisphere. Interesting. So it's gonna be kind of an interesting battle here. The One Ring should be quite good against them, but they can definitely overwhelm us. The best way to make an MTGO economy starting from 0, you just rent a deck and then win matches. I don't know. I haven't really thought about that in like a long time. I was watching some Timeless last night. I was watching Gidra play Timeless in between rounds, but it was, I don't know. It didn't look that interesting to me. But he was also playing Natural Order for Primeval Titan. Wait, we chose to play Manifold Key over playing Trinisphere? I think someone did the math wrong here. I think they thought that if they played Manifold Key, they could have played Thought Monitor, which is not the case. Better than drafting? I don't know that drafting on Magic Online builds an economy. Like, simply going infinite with, like, leagues and stuff has got to be better, right? So if you go to GoBots, GoBots.com has a what is it called? An event calculator, which is an EV calculator, and you can just like see which events give you the highest things for, like, say you're a 55% win rate player. The best sealed stuff is like not as good as playing a challenge or even a preliminary or something. So, do I want to get another land? I think so. I think I just use my mana appropriately here. Well, no, I shouldn't have done this. The reason is because if I draw a force, I can't use, I don't have a blue card for my force. Yeah. Okay. Well, I was instantly punished for my mistake, but it's good that I can identify the mistake and we can all learn from it. I do think I have to counter the Thought Monitor or even the Trinisphere. But we'll get a ring going. Cast. Why? So if they have drawn a land this turn, they can still slam 3-ball our Monitor. All right, I'm still going to counter this, I think. I guess the good news is if we don't hit a land drop, then it was good for us to cycle so we can play our ring. But we did immediately hit a land drop, so. All right, well, the good news is my opponent's very unlikely to have a force, and we're going to get an active ring going. The bad news is my opponent gets to do kind of whatever they want next turn here. Urza, okay. All right, so are they going to choose to play Nettlecyst, Trinisphere, or Thought Monitor? I like Thought Monitor. Good. Nice play. See what they draw off that. Best draw is Academy for sure. Opal plus second Monitor, maybe. All right. We get to pass the turn with an active ring. That is pretty good for our chances of winning this game. We do have Force up, so I like the idea of playing a Citadel here. Our deck is not a very good Citadel deck for what it's worth. We need to be very, very careful with our Citadel and our Mana Crypt and our One Ring. But it's definitely worth playing. Ancient Tomb. Okay. Black Lotus. That's a good one. Force of Will. Take 2 in the air. I take 2 from the ring. I take 3 from my Mana Crypt. I go to 9. If I do this, I'll go to 4. I'm pretty worried. Pretty worried. All right, I'm going to get a... I still think I'm supposed to play the Urza, though. We're not going to have a lot of life to work with, but we do get to draw a million cards next turn and have a million mana, so... Oh, I guess they could play a Nettlecyst and equip. Now they can't do anything. So I'll just force that one. Okay, that should be lethal, right? This Vampiric Tutor. I have to feel like it should be lethal. Let's see. I guess if my opponent hits a land, and no, they played a land already this turn. Yeah, I mean, I definitely understand why they made the play they did. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we vamp for Tinker and draw Tinker, which gives us an out to Mana Crypt and the One Ring, and gives us one part of our combo. We're at 9, we're at 7, we're at 5, we're at 4. It's going to be pretty damn close. Is there anything better? I guess I could have a Chain of Vapor and bounce these both back and then replay the One Ring. But I do kind of like the idea of Tinker gets us closer to having Vault Key. Oh, I guess I might be at 1. I'm at 1. 1 is kind of a precarious number here. Time Walk. Uh, hmm. I guess if I make this thing a 8/8 and attack and activate Citadel, that also wins. That's kind of crazy. Do I have enough? All right, I have enough. Sweet. I didn't really think about that as the way I would win this game, but I'm happy it worked out. Oh, shit! Yeah, I forgot about that. I definitely forgot about that. Okay, that's okay. That's not a big deal. We might still sack our board. All right. Well, I need to kill this ring for sure. And I need to get rid of this mana crypt probably. I can draw into the Time Walk. So what I could do is I can make a bunch of blue mana, sack my board. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I only have exactly 10. I only have one other way to remove a mana crypt. Wait. I can tinker for a different ring, right? So let me draw this Time Walk. Okay. Let me draw this Time Walk. And then tinker the Mana Crypt. And I'll get a different ring. And keep this ring. And then I'll use... I was going to say use the ring to make a mana, but I don't need to do that now. I can just Time Walk. All right, I got there. Woohoo! Whoa, that was close. I definitely scared myself there. All right, and we super overkill them here. An extra 10 damage on the top. All right, big win. I don't really think the sequencing my opponent made in this game helped them in a very strong way, but... So this does look like a matchup where we would play an Ulron, because it's 8 cast. Don't know if that means that we're going to like board out some rings or not. They're still basically broken in half. I don't know. But I don't really care about Dismember. I do think I want a Portal. I do kind of like Portal in this matchup, and I do kind of like Hercules in this matchup. I think I can take out Chain. Maybe I just take out Citadel, because they're like attacking my life total a little bit here. And then maybe we trim like a Seedshark because of the Null Rod. Is it better to trim the Seedshark or the Ring? The Ring is just still broken. But like I actually am on an Urza deck, so I have some way to play through Null Rod at least. I'm not sure. Maybe we don't need this Sensei's Top if we don't have Citadel. Something like that. Let's try this. Make you loving on me, baby. Yeah, okay, sure. This looks reasonable. This is like Demonic Lotus Chrome Host, maybe, depending on what we draw. I did put an Academy in this deck, right? Sweet. I can't believe my opponent would lie to me and name themselves Vengevine X4 and then play 8 cast. Aggro 8 cast. You loving on me. Yeah, I think a turn 1 Nettlecyst is fine. I'd love to hit something else that lets me like not use my pedal or something. Yeah, well, we didn't get there. I think with the amount of counter magic I have and Asaga getting a soul ring, I think we just go for the demonic lotus shark line. A static orb effect. You're not like super like I don't think you want to like go that far. I guess if this gets countered, it's like kind of bad for us, but I can still try Ancient Tomb too. That'd be pretty good. What do you know about a Phyrexian Shack? Shack Natal. Really don't want them to counter this, so. No. Oh, there goes my large incubator token. I'm not really convinced that this is the greatest spot, but. Oh god. What is this? Hope it's not something I can't counter. It doesn't look like it's something they can cast. So maybe Thought Monitor, because they're one short on Thought Monitor. Can't counter Thought Monitor with negation, though. Ooh, Mana Vault. Don't mind Mana Vault. I've gone a Saga. How can I lose? Yeah, I mean... Do. That's a true statement. The fact that I had to force to get my Chrome Shark through was kind of unfortunate. I don't know. Every time I register a no Saga deck in a challenge, it always goes at least X2, so maybe that's the secret. Just simply stop registering Saga. Opponent did not make a play. That's good for the home team. I'm gonna make a construct, and then I drew a Mox, so actually I can go and get a blue Mox and play another Shark if I want. Could just get a key. I just don't think this negation is actually going to do anything. I'd rather have another Shark in play. True or false statement? I boarded out the top when I boarded out the Citadel on the top. I was also like boarding in a Null Rod or whatever, so my opponent's on 8 cast. So I feel like it's either Sapphire or Key, but like Key doesn't really do anything. So I'll just get a Sapphire. The problem is I used my force like to get the shark in, so I don't have the big 5/5 token. But I also guess I can just make a million incubator tokens, which gives this construct pretty large and in chargeness. Oh, they drew another force. Okay, sure, that's fine. I am okay with that. Make your boy thick. Looks like my opponent is stuck on mana. Who could have seen this coming? What do I got? All right, well, that actually lets me just cast a negation. Not that I think there's anything to negate at the moment. But we're almost winning. The game is almost over, so. Lumberjack OP. The only thing it lost to was Orcish Bowmasters and Mulling to 4. Basically a broken deck. How is the Shuffler and MMR in MTGO compared to Arena? Is this a bait? Is this a bait question? Well, MMR, you don't have to worry about because pairings are not based on any kind of ELO system. If you play a tournament. All right, here we go. This one's a sweet one. Let's see what we can do. Maybe die. Ooh, Saga Gaming. Soul Ring. Okay. Oh. Oh, no. There's Saga Gaming better than me. It's okay. The One Ring is pretty good against Saga Gaming, so... I'm just going to jam this Ancestral, by the way. I think it's just worth to do that. Okay. Well, we got a force going here. We've got our own Saga Gaming happening. That is big news. NYSE probably coming. I'll basically play in any NYSE that's hosted no matter what he chooses to do. But I do hope he chooses to go with a more reduced price pool to get the entry fee lower for more people can play. I understand that me and other vintage players do like high entry win power tournaments. But like when you start hitting the numbers that he was talking about, it does become hard to attract people to come and play. NYSE is 15 proxy. So pretty doable. Yeah, but I mean, if you ask people in the community, I'm sure they can help you get there. 15 is like very, very doable for a lot of decks. Maybe it limits some decks you can choose to play, but I think 15 gets most people, or gets a lot of people there, especially legacy players, which is usually the goal. I'm pretty sure we cast the ring and try to draw more counter magic because I don't really think construct tokens matter in this game, which is kind of just many games of magic here. If I draw a Moxen, I can actually key, so definitely draw now. Didn't draw Moxen, but it did hit double counter spell, so. But yeah, I mean, I'm certainly going to talk with why am I blanking right now? What is the word? I guess it's just early in the morning for me, considering I stayed up and played that challenge. I'll certainly do my best to get people to go. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I hope that it's the 4 shops, 4 bazaar for top 8. You know, a couple hundred entry. I think at that point it's like 100 entry, right? Probably something around there. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I did the 3 a.m. challenge, and I got 9th place on breakers, down to the 2nd tiebreaker with Orcish Lumberjack. Well, yeah, I mean, I stayed up all night and played Magic, but like I have to get a normal sleep schedule for my work week, so we're awake. Yeah, maybe it's like 150 or something like that. Let me just activate this again. I don't even think there's a point in making a construct token, really. I think I just want a Black Lotus for blue mana. And then we're going to play a So I can Manamo and get even more draw. Yeah, I wanted to fit a map in, but I just didn't end up having a map to fit in. I guess we don't need to play. We can just start by... I'm like thinking about playing like an Urza first. I don't know if that matters though. Still gonna have enough, so I might as well just draw. Well, the Seedshark isn't gonna... I mean, I'm gonna play the Urza and the Seedshark. Do I lose out on... I guess I lost out on an incubator token by doing it this way. It's fine, though. This lets me hardcast negation if I want. Wait, what if I just chain of vapor some things back here? What if I chain of vapor some things back here? I could like chain back my mana crypt, my key, and my sapphire. Because everything like makes another mana. I'd probably do that. Make me play another ring or something. Yeah, today, I mean, I just started today because I stayed up all night and played Orcish Lumberjack to a 9th place finish in the 3 a.m. challenge. So I'm doing okay. So what did we just play against? I forgot. Jewel. Played against Jewel. Okay, so we have a Null Rod and a Needle and a Hercules and Mindbreak Traps. Then we shouldn't need Chain, Misstep, Probe. It is like a little awkward that our deck is so bad against our own Null Rod, but I think it's fine. Yeah, I had the same tiebreakers as the 8th place player, so it went down to game win percentage, and Gidra had one more games percentage-wise than I did. There's simply no justice in the world after watching Gidra's stream and he gets the top 8. Ah! It's a fun stream. It's a good time. I wonder if I can like take out an island here. And a... I don't know, man. They're all the same. Seedshark, I guess. Ah. Classic. An absolute banger of a hand. I should have the mulligan this hand, though, seeing as I'm on the draw against Jewel. Kind of unfortunate. Nah, yeah, this hand's much, much better. It's just not a keep, for sure. Blue, 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 blue. Sure. I played against 2 Jewel last night, and the games went basically exactly as I expected. You just counter their thing, wasteland them, and they lose. I don't know. I really don't like Jewel. My opponent mulliganed to 4. So my all force of will hand is obviously not at its best here. Okay. Yeah. I also fluxed Nathan. I did not beat Prince though. I freaking knew my opponent. I knew Prince's entire hand, so I made him force a Dak Fade in, like leaving him with just Ancient Tomb, nothing else, and immediately he top decks Jewel. And then the Jewel whiffs. So I have time. He like plays out a Argenta Masticore and keeps feeding cards to the Argenta Masticore. It was a wild match. Ancestral Recall. Some reason I don't think this Ancestral Recall is what I want, right? I guess I can just draw the Ancestral Recall with my top and cast Ancestral. It's like kind of weird, but I guess that's better than not doing that. I don't know. They do it on their turn, I guess. Is that even worth it? Like, does that even like advance me? Then if they counter it, I'm really not playing Jewel. I just want to play Ring, right? Like, isn't it better for me to simply just spin the Underground Sea to the top and play Ring? It is. It definitely is. Ancestral's a bait. Card's pretty garbage compared to the One Ring. The One Ring, millions of dollars. Ancestral Recall, simply thousands of dollars. Not even on the same playing field here. But yeah, Flux was really good. I think Ogre's Lumberjack was also very good. Dak was pretty good. Oko was good. Fury was the one that card that actually wasn't good, interestingly enough. I guess there was a... I mean, I just have a counter for Metamorph. It's fine. I have, like, infinite counter magic. Like, I don't really care if my opponent spends their Grim Monolith on a Metamorph or whatever. I guess Fury was okay in those, like, Shops matches, but, like, it wasn't the card that mattered in the Shops matches either. Oh, little force backup. Little go down to one card action. Pitching Metamorph. Okay. I did use a lot of forces in this exchange. But I mean, I'm about to draw a million cards. 1 for turn, 2 for ring, 3 for ancestral, play a saga with force backup. Yeah, it's over. All right, round 3. Let's continue. Yeah, I mean, these hands have been fucking great. Is this what happens when you play 8 forces in your deck? You just always have force blue card? It's kind of sick. Is this the actual reason that Luris Saga is good? Is it because there's 8 forces in the deck? I really hate playing for negation, but like it definitely makes sense in a blue ring deck for sure. Wow. We're cooking here. Underground Sea. So Doomsday maybe? Looks like Doomsday. This hand's pretty damn good against Doomsday. Need another blue card, but then I have double for Saga Volkey. I have a lot of blue cards in my deck. That was not exactly what I was looking for, but hopefully maybe I can get like a daze or a counter spell on this, seeing as it's technically lethal in 2 turns. No, it means they're just gonna kill me, huh? Yeah, I guess I could have DT'd for a second force. Maybe that was better. That's pretty reasonable. Okay, it looks like I'm not getting killed here, so I can just do that next turn, or I can ring, or... I mean, this means they have to go off next turn, right? So I guess we just DT for a force and call it a day. Like, they don't have any way of disrupting this if they are Doomsday, which it looks like they are. And Ancient Tomb will give us some, like, protection against Daze and Fluster and that kind of card, those kind of cards. Am I just waiting on Saga? What do you mean? Like, I mean, I'm gonna win with Vault Key here, so I just need to make sure I live. I guess my opponent can, like, realistically have Dark Ritual, Doomsday, Street Wraith, or Gush, and force backup and kill us here, but... Oh, you want me to just, like, play Manifold Key for the win next turn? That's certainly that's certainly what I'll do if I draw a blue card. I could also just DT for Time Walk. I don't think I put Fluster in my deck. Haven't been playing very many Flusters recently. All right. Well, it certainly looks like my opponent has got Necro. Necro, I think we just let resolve, right? Well, I think that just resolves. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna play until I feel too tired to play anymore today. I'm going to do this donation league, and then I'll do Chess Knights Legacy League, and then maybe I'll do another one too. Just not really much else to do today. I was gonna work on automation some more, but I got so much done yesterday that I don't even feel like I need to do that. I mean, my opponent's gonna be tapped out, so they can only have force. If I like draw the blue card for turn and then I go for my win with demonic, they have to force it, and then I'm passing the turn with force. It's probably fine. And then like the fact that I can go demonic for time walk instead of demonic for key, which means I don't even have to put key on the stack and I can still get it on the next turn, is like really strong. It all comes down to, do I draw blue card though? No, the TFT thing ended last year. It was like a 2-week long thing. I did hit master in TFT though. I don't know if I'm thinking about pushing and trying to play some tournaments in that game, but we'll see. Depends on how much time I have. I don't have a second blue. I guess that's true. I technically do not have a second blue right now, so I guess I cannot do the time walk line. You're right. Well, my girlfriend, my partner is stuck at her house in a snowstorm, so I am by myself chilling for the whole Sunday. So time to play Magic, I guess. Yeah, I'm not. I decided I'm not very interested in playing like a new storybook brawl. I think I just like TFT much more. So I think I'd rather just like get good at TFT than play storybook brawl or something like that. Oracle, land, misstep. Interesting. My opponent pitched misstep. Okay, blue card. Blue card. I think we'll just go. Well, the problem. Yeah, I mean, we'll just go for the. Do we even want to go for the win though? Like, is that actually better? There's nothing I can draw into. I guess I could draw into misstep. Could DT for misstep. If I DT for misstep, I have force misstep, and I win on the next turn. It's game one. Wait, not a legendary. What does misstep do? So it counters a spell that costs 1. Yeah, but the like force doesn't do anything. So like I have no 1 mana counter spells, and force doesn't do anything. So the only card that does anything is misstep. Or manifold key. But the problem is if I get my manifold key countered, I don't win the game on the next turn, and I can win the game through counter magic next turn. They probably just think I DT'd for a second, like a blue card or something, right? So they don't even know that it's messed up, mental misstep. I mean, this seems like a good spot, so. Whoops, and change, but you can be out. Time walk. I mean, this just draws them a. This is fine, right? I don't think that's a problem. They need to. What's the lowest number they can go? 2? Then they can't force. So like 4, you can still force. Well, 3 doesn't work if you want to Doomsday, and I guess if you want to do it on the stack, I guess. Dig through time. Sure. You got it. I'm Saga Gaming. And you don't play any interaction. Silly opponent. I guess their interaction is killing me. I don't know. I'm pretty high on Wasteland right now. Wasteland is, I think, the best. It might even just straight up be the best unrestricted land in Vintage right now. Wasteland's so broken. And this is why we got misstep, chat. We get a force out of this misstep. Oh, I mean, I do think it got better, not me. Like, you know, the power of a card definitely waxes and wanes inside of the format. Meta. Force back? I don't see any reason to force back. Like, let them put the Doomsday on the stack, right? I guess theoretically they could, like, have a Thoughtseize and another Dark Ritual. But, like, they could also have, like, Black Lotus or, like... Have I already played a land this turn? They haven't played a land yet this turn. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, of course. I'm not saying that like Wasteland wasn't good before, but I do think Wasteland is like definitely an amount better. Okay. We are playing against Doomsday. I want Mindbreak Trap. That's it, right? Mindbreak Trap in, and then Chain out, and I guess Chain is okay to keep in. What do I even take out though? Tinker Citadel maybe. Tinker Citadel's pretty bad in this matchup. Let's do that. So Chain gives me at least a single way to rebuy Ring, and it also answers Shieldred and Murktide Regent and those kind of pivots. I want a single answer in my deck that I can tutor for. I don't know. It depends on if I think Island is like... It depends on if you think Island is like necessary in the mana base to function. Like theoretically, you could take out Island here if you didn't feel like your mana base needed it. I don't even have a card to bring in though, right? Like, what am I bringing in? There's nothing to bring in. Like I could get Tinker and Citadel back in, but like, I don't actually think Tinker is good against my opponent's deck. They have like just as many, if not more, counter spells than I do. I just like, don't think Citadel is like that important in this deck, so I don't really care too much. Like the card Tinker is like actually bad against like Flusterstorm and Spell Pierce and Daze and those kind of things. So you might even say it's insane. Right, Blaine? Well, I mean, people think that like Urza Saga is better than Wasteland when it's like clearly not. Don't really think it's that close either. All right, well, they get to look at my hand. So now if they like daze my jet, things could be bad. I think the difference is just visibility. Like people see constructs ending the game and they remember it more, whereas they don't really remember the games where like Wasteland stopped them from playing spells. Like, but those games stuck in my head much more than Saga games because like constructs are just interactable pieces and they're moving pieces inside the game. Kill your opponent or deal with their permanents. Like this is just playing Magic. It's on Twitter. It's also on the Mox field, so you can go exclamation mark deck and find it. I think. I just want to hit a land drop and play a Seedshark. I guess I'll take a force. Probably just end up like mysticaling for an ancestral. It's not really strong play. Maybe you're like not even supposed to do that. I wish I had a clock though. This is where a saga would come in handy. Is mysticaling for ancestrals like kind of bad here, right? I feel like it is. How does that actually look? How does it look when it's like this? Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, that looks pretty cool. I kind of wish it did it in the folders, but it's not too bad. Mystical for Lorien for a land drop? I think that's bad too. I think I'll just naturally draw. I'll just hit my land. It's okay. Next turn I'll draw Ancient Tomb. I still am on draw land here. Time Walk. All right. I'm gonna cast Time Walk. I don't really have anything going on, so if they want to counter this, daze it, whatever. I don't care. Fluster. It's good for me if I can get rid of a Flusterstorm for a Time Walk. I mean, it does like make me pass with the ability to get dazed. I just don't care though. I mean, my opponent, like maybe my opponent kills me through 3 forces. It's definitely possible, but they haven't been casting preordains or anything, so it's not like they have perfectly sculpted hand. Oh. I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to fight over that. I don't think we're gonna win this game. I think we did need to hit our land drop. So like this is a game where like if I had cut an island from my deck, I have an even lower chance of playing. I obviously I could have mysticaled for a lot of different things at this point, but my opponent has 9 cards in hand. We're so dead. It's crazy the amount of dead we are. That's kind of one of the powerful aspects of Doomsday is because they're the only deck in the format playing cantrips. Like they can just sit here and do nothing if you don't present a clock. So like playing a bunch of counter magic is not enough. You need to have counter magic and a clock. So I have 3 forces. Is there any world which I just let this Doomsday resolve? They didn't crack their delta. Is that better or worse? I think I'm just gonna let it resolve and try to see if 3 forces beats their pile. It probably doesn't, but I think that's okay. 7. I just don't think we're gonna win this game, so I think I'm gonna take the like high risk, high reward line. But they didn't, like I said, they didn't cantrip or anything in this game. I guess they cast Ancestral, but they didn't like preordain and sculpt their hand or anything, so. I don't really have a lot going on here. Simply draw your Ancestral Recall. Much better. It's much better than casting Preordain. No. We do have to. The problem with letting Doomsday resolve, though, is we then have to sit through someone building a Doomsday pile. Grenzo combo doesn't even work on Magic Online. They ruined Senpai's donation deck list because Mind Goblin doesn't actually function correctly. Sad. So wait, what is... Oh, this person builds the Doomsday pile. I assume this means... I mean, this is pretty damn good. Yeah, the aggro shops, prison shops thing... Well, that's interesting. Got bug 100% of the time. Yeah, I mean, Grixis Saga Breach is definitely where the problems would lie in our classification. This is a matrix that a set of data that QQE ran using my new parser rule set and comparing it to the replay data we've done. Pretty good, though. It's a little tough because it's not like the replay data is perfect, because the replay data can definitely be wrong. But I'm pretty happy with this first cut of the rule set, though. To like hit all these things at pretty high accuracy is really nice. Like, pretty interesting. Yeah, it's... I think that's what it is. Oh, looks like opponent made a thing. Not bad. The robots are taking over. Yeah, that's a part of the problem, Chess Knight. We need to find a good definition. I don't think so. Golos itself doesn't make a deck a prison-oriented deck. Golos having a toolbox that is like aimed at like looping and putting your opponent, you know, getting a crucible, that then that can be considered prison. Yes. It's less about the cards and more about the game plan, which makes it very hard to do that using a card-based rule set. Yeah, it's because you just jam your cards. It's not really that hard to explain, right? Like, it's just, what are your goals in a game of Magic? If your goal is to attack them for lethal as fast as possible while providing as much roadblock as you can, you're an aggro deck. If your goal is to stop your opponent from casting spells and eventually win, you're a prison deck. Top is like kind of interesting here. Could draw me into, I don't know, something. Could draw me into mystical mindbreak trap. Though that doesn't really help me because I simply have a million forces. Yeah, we could just make Inventor's Fair as the flag for sure. Could be. Natural Mindbreak on top, Natural Ancestral on top. There are some things that could happen for sure. My opponent built a pile with a thing. They're already down to 2 cards. How many oracles? No time walk. There's a steel sabotage. There are Shieldreds. There are 2 oracles. I think we blind draw with top after we use all of our forces. What is this? Black, blue, like dispute or something? Hard cast negation. I mean, we could mystical for ancestral, right? Or lethal ancestral next turn. So I think we like force negation. I guess we just force the oracle again. Maybe they have a force of will. They still have 5 cards in hand. No. All right, so now the question is, do we mystical for an ancestral and go for a kill? Or do we... One days... How many days do you think they have? I think they have 2 days. We could have force backup. If we like spin and find a blue card too. I think it makes the most sense. This could get dazed, I guess, but then we can still find another force. So it's like another blue card for force or something. So what about mental misstep? Oh, no mental misstep. I think they have a daze in their hand. It kind of feels like. Yeah, but we could have it with force backup too. It's possible. Those spinning wouldn't. Oh, so they did have a daze. All right, I think this is a natural draw. And then we can spin for a blue card. Oh, wait a second. That looks better, right? Academy is 3 mana. Play a ring, draw a card. Even draw 2 more cards if we want. That's a sexy draw. Protection from everything is essentially protection from nothing. Drew another ring. Pretty sure it's better to simply draw another 2 cards, right? Ooh, we could have force plus trap. Don't know if that will matter. Trap might not even be turned on. They could also have like another. Oh, their last card is Oracle. That's really bad for them. I can confirm that that is that is not good for them. They are very dead here. We're gonna win this game. That's crazy. We're gonna win this game. We are just like super, super winning. So I have multiple hard casts. Yep. Nah, we're just gonna win by countering all their stuff. I guess I could have gotten rid of an island. Doesn't matter. Nope, I'm not casting Lorien. I'm simply holding up Force of Will plus double hard cast Mindbreak Trap back up. All right. I can't believe we won that game. That's wild. All right, here we go. Round 4. We're up against probably Squee. This hand is like really unfortunate because we have a Force of Negation instead of a Force of Will. I think this hand's really good if we had a Force of Will, but against Squee, like Negation is basically useless. Well, there you go. Force of Negation, not useless. Classic not me. Figuring out the worst possible outcome for us. Seedshark should actually be pretty damn good in this matchup if I had to guess. We simply play into everything. How much mana is this? This is 3, this is 5. So I can activate and play a Seedshark. And then I would have 2 mana left over. That's not very good. So I need to play the petal first. Well, we didn't just look at one replay manually. We looked at multiple replays to try to determine what kind of deck they were on. But everything is manual, right? Like everything replay-wise used to be manual, and now that we have an active scraper and parser and all 100% of deck lists being given to us, I don't know if like I want to go back and like try to redo a bunch of data or anything. But oh man, we got a resolved ring and an incubator token. Oh, my opponent is so very dead. The Seedshark, though, I guess if it was a Hold Reacher, it would also be very good here. So for what it's worth, it doesn't. Because this deck list is almost exactly the last ring deck that I played on the channel, but instead of Hold Reachers, we have Seedsharks. Ooh, they had a strip mine for my Tolarian Academy. That would be good if I cared. I mean, it's still really good. I do care. Oh my. We don't have a blue mana right now, do we? But we can if we simply play a key and draw a million cards. Oh, counter magic. I think we pay 2 life to get an incubator going, right? Could get hit by Vengevines or something. Don't think I care. I just don't need to. I can just swing with this and hold this back for sure. Ring is great against Squee for sure. They can't vigor it, so they only have 1 card. They just like didn't have a lot of cards in their hand because of mulligans. So I feel like their engine is just pretty far behind at this point. The killing the Tolarian is really annoying, but I don't think it matters that much. We did get our key countered. Our deck actually has like no way to bring back Time Vault, which is kind of funny. All right. Post board, we've got a Sphinx, we've got a Portal, we've got a Tabernacle, a Needle. A Cage is pretty bad. Maybe on push or chain. But I hate Citadel in this matchup. I don't really think we need a chain. Obviously, we can chain like a Chalice or something, but we don't need Mental Misstep because we're not countering Noxious Revivals. We don't need any negations in this matchup, though, so we might have to keep everything in. So maybe we just end up keeping everything in. Fatal Push doesn't kill Hollow One, so it's kind of useless. So I guess if we take out Mental Misstep and all of our negations, then that's just probably fine. Like, none of these other cards are good. I guess we could theoretically have a Dismember instead of a Chain. That might be better. Mindbreak Trap? No, we're not bringing in Mindbreak Trap. Excuse me. All right, what do we got? This is probably a keep. It's not a great hand, but it does have an Urza or a Seedshark. Urza and Seedshark are both great because they don't get countered by negation, so they only get countered by force and like killed by fury. So if we can like resolve a Black Lotus and get an Urza going, it's really good for us. Like Black Lotus Saga, Urza is actually plays around Mindbreak Trap too, so they basically have to have Force of Will. Like we could just get Force of Will and die, but I think that's okay too. Dismember. Dismember looks quite awful here. Maybe we're supposed to play Underground Sea so that we have the chance of making Saga tokens. We could also just like lead on Lotus Chrome Host. We could like lead on Chain this and then just play a Chrome Host. I mean, it's just so much worse than like jamming for an Urza though, so. Seedshark Dismember. I just think we need to use this Lotus on Urza, to be honest with you. Urza Resolving is big. I think we just use this construct to play another key right now. Because if we chain, they'll just... I guess they probably wouldn't bounce back, but... I guess we can still chain on their upkeep if we want. Like, they'd have to... I guess we could chain... Yeah, because then we can play around Trap. Like, we can bounce this, and, like, for them to copy, they need to, like... I guess we should wait until combat. It would have to sack a Bazaar or something. But I feel like getting one turn time walk of Chain of Vapor seems good. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Definitely thinking about chaining after they attack. One Master, one Noxious, one Brute Walla. Oh, that's a 1/4. I think I'm gonna do it. If they want to sack Bazaar to bounce Saga, Urza or the Construct, I think that's just fine. Yeah. Ghost Quarter we have covered with an island in our deck. Though we do lose our Saga. Portal to Phyrexia. Not ideal. Sure. That's fine. So we can get a Seedshark here. I think we're... Oh, the Seedshark was forced. Okay. This is not a bad spot. Though they do have an active master, so... Definitely wanted our Seedshark to resolve, but that would have made all of our spells cost 1 less mana, kind of. Made some blockers. We're currently a mana or so away from... Oh, man, they hit another Rootwalla plus Vengevine. Does that mean that they've got a hollow one as well? Wow, that is quite the large amount of creatures in their top 15. I think we're just taking this one because if I find a Seedshark, I do want to have this Dismember. Another Ghost Quarter is really bad because that means I just simply don't have a second island. Why do they have so many Ghost Quarters? What's going on? This looks bad. Sensei's top. So I could spin my top, or yeah, I guess I can spin my top. Ancestral Lorien Tinker. Okay, so I could activate my top and then use my construct and ancestral, but then I don't have anything after. I can just dismembers, not that doesn't do anything. Block. If I draw and tinker for Time Vault, I don't actually have enough mana next turn. I could just tinker for Sphinx, which is probably winning if it resolves. I guess there's no reason not to just go for like Ancestral first next turn, and then if it gets countered, then I can't tinker after if it gets countered. They get a master back. This looks really bad for me. I think it's just cast Tinker for Sphinx and hope it works next turn. Of course, 2019 Esperpio is the best. I assume it was the legendary pilot, right? He's just too strong. Yeah, I know. He plays sagas. It is what it is. Oh, it wasn't David. Ooh. Now that's interesting. Vigor was pitched and Master was pitched. Do I die if this Dismember gets countered? No. Okay, I take 3. It's not that bad. Does Tinker resolve? Survey says... Nope. Well, we've got an Ancestral coming, for whatever that's worth. Was it just David's list, though? Probably, right? They've just activated Bizarre too many times for us to win this game, right? 2 Vengevines. 1 Master. 2 cards in hand. Wasteland. Attack. I go to 3. Okay. Oh, I guess this just gets something wastelanded. That's fine, though. If my opponent doesn't return these 2 Vengevines, I think we're okay. If my opponent does return the 2 Vengevines, we die. Fun little life we live here. We were like 1 mana short of playing a ring would have been nice. I guess a 3 life a ring is not the... Oh, they Noxious Revivaled a Rootwalla, so that means they have it. Means they drew a hollow 1 for turn, and they have Rootwalla plus hollow 1, return 2 Vengevines. Nice. All right, you beat me. You had all your creatures in your top 23. I see you now. We must go again. Classic Zol. I have been vanquished. Saga, Ruby, Force, 1 ring. This hand looks really bad. Let's mulligan this. What is this? What is this nonsense? Where's my ring? I almost have enough to cast this portal. Sad day. 2, 4, 6. I have 8 mana on turn 1. But like on turn 2, I could keep it. Yeah, but like against a squee hand, I'm not just keeping like 9 mana portal. Like I can't do that. This is much better. This is very, very good. This is like Mystical to the bottom and Tomb to the bottom. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's Mystical. No, it's Mystical. I think I'm supposed to just keep this Urza, right? Opponent mulligan to 5 with me, so that's nice of them. This hand does need a little help, but it's not too bad. All right, they kept 5. We got a shack. Maybe. Opponent could have had negation, I guess. How do you feel about a Phyrexian Shark, opponent? Do you have a force of will? No. All right. Shark is in play. This is good. I currently don't have a follow-up to that, but... there are a lot of good draws in my deck. I'd love to draw a Moxen. Even like 1 mana artifacts are okay as well. That'll let me actually do 2 things on my turn. Lizard. Sharks greater than lizards. Sharks not greater than golems. Lost my flip. Drew a mox. Sick. Sweet. We got a bunch of resolvers. 1, 2, 3. I could technically spin here. How good is spinning here? I'm not sure. Oh, it looks like they have a vigor, maybe. Vigor hit my construct, and my saga don't get to spin. Doesn't look like we're gonna get it. Maybe I was supposed to play saga first before playing Urza. It didn't make sense in my mind, but now that I see this part of it, it does look bad, right? Because now I can't make 5 mana. But they only have 1 card left. I mean, this is like super winning, right? So I think it's okay. No reason not to attack flyer here. I mean, we do get hit for 4 and then 3 from our mana crypt, but we have some spins coming. Every spin is also mana, so they have 1 card left. Yeah, I guess I needed to sequence it differently with Saga first and then Urza. Then we would have gotten a spin there. So probably my mistake. Wasteland. God damn it. Let a guy clear an academy. All right, well now things are a little dicey. Just kidding. I got mana for days. All right. Any gamers? Saga Gaming? Woohoo! Okay. I'll leave these both back. We need to preserve our health total here. We are going to go to 9, which is 3 crypt flips. Could be a problem. But I'm definitely not chumping with either of these, so... Oh, they're going in. They're making sure the hollow one gets in there. It's an easy block for me, because I don't think I was blocking the hollow one anyways. 3 crypt flips to win for my opponent, and that's probably all they can really do. Won my first flip. Underground Sea. I'm gonna use my Underground Sea to spin. The Empiric Tutor. I guess this just gets us a Tinker for our mana crypt, so we can't lose. So should be game winning, right? All right, I'm just gonna leave these back and then win the game. Looks one. Can we trophy? Little Gobi trophy? Ooh, it's getting closer. All right, so we flip, and then we draw Tinker, and then we tinker away our mana crypt for Vault Key. Whoop! Let's go! Big wins! Here we are for round 5 of this vintage league, where we are 4-0 with our donation deck list from Gobi. I Pretty excited. Maybe we can get a little trophy action. That is a hell of a hand. It's a keeper. Oh, it's a keeper. Uh-oh. Workshop. 4 mana. The One Ring. That's interesting. Because I think there's a world where we let this resolve, right? I mean, even if we don't, they're drawing how many cards? 3 extra cards. And they still need to use their mana on their turn, and we can counter. Pretty sure we just let this resolve, that we have force backup for our counter, for our win. I guess theoretically we could also go ring this turn if we wanted to. Not a great draw. Is it? It's not better to go ring, right? It's better to just go time vault and make my opponent beat me. I have 1 counter magic. They have a bunch of spells. We'll see. Eight cards in hand. They could always like have Metamorph for my Volt Key too. That's a good sign. Draw. Another workshop. 5 mana monolith. 6 mana jewel. Do you have forced backup for your jewel? That is now the question. They could. They drew a million cards. Haha! Great success. Suck it, jewel players. Null Rod. Trap. Hercules. Island. Chain. Misstep. Oh, wasn't I taking out Tinker Citadel here usually? Oh, I can bring in Needle, right? Needle and take out Tinker Citadel. All right. One more game for the trophy. What do we got? Mindbreak Trap plus Shark Time Walk. I think this is a keep. Obviously, this has some weaknesses, but it seems like worth a keep. Trap is online. Turn 1 Jewel. You've entered my trap. Looks good. This might just be Saga Sapphire Walk. I think it is. No, I think Walk is better here. We're going to make bigger constructs, so we'll clock faster, and we'll have more blue cards to pitch to force. And also, like, this gets us closer to, like, Black Lotus to cast Lorien Revealed and draw forces. Like, all I want here is force. No, I don't think I want Ring because it lets them metamorph it. My opponent's not really likely to kill me here after using their Lotus on turn 1, and they only have 2 mana currently. Like, they can have Workshop, like Monolith, second Jewel, I guess, but... This looks like a pretty compelling spot. Yeah, I think the ring is worse than making constructs here. And we draw a bunch of cards next turn. I like our spot. I like our spot. This could be it. This could be it. Oh, little trophy action. It's possible. Opponent is in the tank in their upkeep. To draw step. What do we got? Workshop? Saga Gaming? Ancient Tomb? Ring? Monolith? 5 mana? Pass? Big? Make a boy? Force. We have 8 forces in our deck. We also have Mindbreak Trap. Make 2 5/5 constructs. Attack. Cast. Lorien Reveal. Draw 3 towards a force. I'm pretty sure a force wins this game on the spot, so that's what we're looking for. Also, I mean, these constructs we're going to win because my opponent didn't play any constructs at all, right? So it's like they have to combo kill us. I guess a ring might be pretty good. A ring might be pretty good, but that force also counters a ring, so... They currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana, so... I guess there's a world where they could play a ring and a jewel in the same turn, but then they would have had to like have a jewel in hand right now and then draw on a ring and a mana. Seems a little unlikely. Chat. Come on, opponent, play with me. Classic vintage cube, double Q with vintage. The game's almost over, opponent. It's almost over. Look how big this construct is. Urza Saga. 4th best unrestricted land in vintage. It's broken. I'm dying. Really ruining my moment. All right, here we go. We're going. Oh, I forgot to make a construct because I waited too long. This happens every time. It's fine. I drew a forest. It's fine. I can't play leagues, chat. It's impossible. It's just so hard. All right, I guess I'm gonna play a 1 ring. I get so bored. My opponent's just sitting here doing nothing, and I have to wait. Why? Now they have a metamorph for my ring. We're gonna lose. Hard cast fours. My opponent's gonna draw more cards than me. Not really, but like they're gonna. If I don't draw force, I lose. I see. So I can vamp for something and draw with ring. Is there a vamp here that wins? I guess I could just vamp for a needle on ring. Null Rod? Yeah, I guess Null Rod will also win too. That's hilarious. Uh, I will vamp for Null Rod with my ring in play. Good luck, opponent. Yes! Yes! Vamp for Null Rod. Activate my ring. It's so sick. It's so sick. Always play your Null Rods in your sideboard of your ring time vault deck. Oh, it's too funny. Too funny. Oh, thanks again to Gobi for this donation deck list. We were able to pull off the trophy victory. I think it works pretty well. Obviously, we drew pretty above average. I would say lots of Ancestrals, lots of Tolarian Academies, Black Lotuses, and Rings and stuff. But, I mean, the deck works. The Chrome Shark was fine. It definitely does something. I like it. It was fun. Thanks for watching. More vintage content on this YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I will see you then.